Hey, what's up to everybody out there? Welcome to another edition of the Roundtable Talk, and I'm your host, C Money. And in this episode, we're doing another edition of Hotspots in South Florida, but this time we're doing historical parks, facts, and figures and history of South Florida. And today, we're doing Reynolds Park, which is a park in the North Miami Beach area. As you see, we're coming up on it, and this is a unique park I've been wanting to do. I did several videos years ago on certain parks that was on my other devices, but their devices, has been I have trouble with my devices, but I'm gonna redo them in different episodes in the future. Basically, there's a lizard right there. And just FYI, throughout the video I will be pausing the video because there will be long walk pathways, and to keep the video and this episode short, I will be pausing through the long pathways throughout it. This is a trail. Apparently it's closed because it says unsafe structure. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about this park. This land goes back to the early 1900s, and this land was owned by A.O. Greynolds, hence the name Greynolds Park. In 1933, A.O. Greynolds donated this park to Dade County, and I guess that's when Dade County turned it into a park in 1933. Now in 1979, which will probably be seen upcoming throughout the video, their youth organization built the Alita River Trail, and we'll probably see it, and as you know, there is an Alita River State Park, which we'll probably do an episode within the coming weeks. Okay. There's no fishing here, so you can't fish here. The difference between state parks and actual county and city parks is basically state parks you pay to get in. Like state parks, like if you're walking, it's like $2. I don't know about driving because I've been in state parks before. I believe we did an episode, if I'm not mistaken, at the Barnacle State Park. If not, I have to go look back because I believe we did an episode there. But I'm gonna take a brief pause because I'm still walking, and I told you throughout the video we're gonna have brief pause because instead of having the whole video go throughout the whole park, I don't want to sit here and walk throughout the park with the video because it'll be a long video. So we're gonna do brief pauses. We're coming up to what I think is the security gate, and might I add, it is hot out here. If you want to know how hot it is so hot. I have drinks with me. I have a Gatorade and I have some water with me just in case, because right now I am already sweating bricks. And this is the area. I guess it's the security guard gate, which is, they really probably don't need one. It says, welcome to Reynolds Park. Pay by phone or pay at pay station. I guess that's for the parking, for people to park. There are a lot of trails out here. Like most of these parks, especially parks like this that was built in the early 1900s, they have nature trails and trails that give you a significance. I've visited several parks. Like I visited Cape Florida, Bill Bags, which is another park that we're gonna do in our thing. This park really don't have as much historical significance. It was formed in 1933. There are a lot of these parks in South Florida that you see a lot of significant history towards them. Okay, Right here is one of the bathrooms and rest area. I'm gonna go up this way. I'm gonna go up and then come around. And I'm gonna take a brief pause. We're gonna come back and I'm gonna show you more of it. Just a brief pause, you know, like I said, we don't wanna shoot the whole video because our episodes are mainly 30 minutes long, even though this one might run over 30 minutes. So we're gonna do a brief pause and we're gonna come back. Okay, welcome back. It was a brief pause. I had to cross the street because there was a lizard that was back there. Now, this is a hill that we're going up. It says no bicycles, rollerblades, or skateboards on Mount. We're gonna go up here right quick and see what this is. What we're gonna do, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a 2-part series to this, meaning that if we go beyond 30 minutes, I'll make another part 2 video. This will be part 1 because it seems like it's gonna take more to this video. As you can tell, I'm already sweating. This is, if you can only imagine what I'm going through. This, it has to be interesting. And I've never been to this park. So for me, this is like a first for me. I've always seen the park, but you know, whew. Luckily I have on shorts. I guess this is where they hold the flag at. Okay, now I'm going down because I need to find shade and rest for a minute and get some wipes out and wipe my face off. You can imagine if you're not a walking person like myself, because remember when I went to Atlanta, we walked Piedmont Park, and even though I think I could go down this way, even though oh no, that's not an action. Oh, it is. Even though, you know, gotta walk. Oh my God, they have so many big lizards. There's lizards everywhere. When I tell you there are lizards everywhere, I'm actually terrified of lizards to the extent I was waiting at a bus stop in Fort Lauderdale, and the lady had walked by me and said, look, there was like maybe 2 to 3 lizards in the area, and it was near the bus stop, and luckily the bus stop had a bus shelter, and I literally had to sit there and jump on the bus. I'm like, I posted it on social media like, ooh, look at these lizards, like, and I know they're not dangerous or well, I mean, they're not as bad as you think they is, but I know they can have some danger on it. There's a park over there, so I'm gonna go. This is a closed building. This might be a recreation building where they use for maybe events, like if you want to have any private event here or something. And then there's another rest there with restrooms and things like that. Then the playground is across the way, which we're gonna walk that way. A lot of these parks like this are built like this because they was built back in the early 1900s. So when you come to places like this, you know that most of these parks have history behind it. Even though this park doesn't have too much history behind it, but it was history because it was built back in the early 1900s. Now the park was made in 1933. So this land could go back to the early to late 1800s because he donated the park in 1933. So you have to look at it that maybe somewhere around the mid to late 1800s is when this land, and this is a really big land for him to have. So you can only imagine the man, because a lot of these parks that are like this was actually built, was actually donated And you're going to see a lot of them throughout my series of parks. That a lot of these parks was actually, I guess that's the office building right there over there. I don't know if you can see it, but a lot of these parks was actually donated to the county back then. Because back then, and as you can see here, there are a lot of duck off nature trails. And of course in Peatman Park, they had that too, where they had a lot of nature trails that led to different sections of the park and anything. This is a very big park. Now, I can't say if it's bigger than Peatman Park in Atlanta, but Peatman Park was a huge park. I mean, it took us an hour, maybe an hour plus to go around that park. And if you're not a walking person, it might take you more. See, there's a lot of nature trails, but I'm not doing the nature trails because I'm just walking the main parts, because there are a lot of critters and stuff that's in these nature trails. I did it before, and you'll probably see it in my future episodes. But there's a butterfly. Like, this has to be a nature trail as well too. But these are man-made nature trails. These are not actually actual nature trails. These are basically man-made nature trails, meaning people just made these nature trails on their own. So you get an understanding of, if you don't see concrete like this, that means basically a lot of these trails are man-made. Like that, that's a man-made nature trail. Because a lot of these people, just like that, that's a man-made nature trail. But I'm gonna stick to the main part of the concrete because, I don't want to deal off. Okay, so now we're gonna take another brief break, a brief pause. I'm gonna find a rest area and sit down and drink some water, and we'll wipe my face off, and then we'll come back. Greynolds Park, the roundtable talk. Okay, welcome back. A couple of minutes later, I'm sitting down in, I guess, one of the center areas of the park. There's little, dolphin statues and whatever that is for the kids to play. We passed the playground already. There's parking over here. Giving me a minute break before I start back walking again. Basically, this is, I'm sweating my behind off. Please bring, I have on all white, so it's even better. So I'm finna start walking in about a minute. So I just want to give you an outlook. Basically, there is a Greynolds East Park. I'm gonna give you more information on that at a later time, because I did see that. But it will have to be, because with this park is like, wow. I actually took a different way to get here, so it actually put me in like, oh my God, I there was a easier way to get here. So I have my wipes here, which is my hand wipes, which is also what I use to wipe my face, because they're cool and they're more contacting better than just regular napkins and towels and stuff. Because a towel, you can wipe yourself off and that can easily get wet within the next. Let me wipe myself off some more. Oh, this is moisture. Okay, let me start back walking because I have to continue this. Okay, on back to walking. This park is actually big. If you look at it, this park is actually big. And there's another rest area. I call them rest areas because they have bathrooms. I'm quite sure they have water fountains there, so I call them rest areas. There is a lake over there. There's lakes surrounding this area because a lot of North Miami Beach areas are surrounded by water, especially a majority of their parks, because North Miami Beach is, if you've been to North Miami Beach, they're the city on the north end. Well, the second city on the northern end, because Aventura is the city. Aventura on the east side is the last city before you go into Broward County. aka Fort Lauderdale, in the Broward County area. North Miami Beach is the second city. For Aventura and North Miami Beach and North Miami are, because there is a city called North Miami, they are the three cities that you will have to go through. And they are the last cities before you leave the mainland to go to the beach, aka South Beach, Miami Beach, places like that. They are the cities that you get to before you get to the beach area. So a lot of their areas are surrounded by water. This has to be where people was grilling at. That's an own man-made grill. I love doing nature trails for one reason. Yep, there's another entrance here. There's an entrance right there to the park. So there is another entrance to this park. So I ended up at one of the entrances to the park. Most parks like this, especially when we visited Piedmont Park in Atlanta, they have multiple entrances. You have small parks that only has one entrance where you can only go in and out one way. Then you have multiple parks like this that are huge. They have multiple entrances. There's a volleyball court over there and everything. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go this is a road trail that I'm going to take. I was on the bike trail. A lot of people come out here for different reasons. Mainly, they come out here for the exercising and for basically the nature walks, because you exercise through the nature walks. And that's what a lot of people do with the nature walks. They come out here and exercise on the nature walks, and they come out here, they look at these things, and I actually like nature walks, but the only thing about nature walks is you got to be careful, especially with time of day you're going. This is in the afternoon, so it's cool, but like when we visited Piedmont Park, it was getting nighttime, so the sun was going down. So we saw a lot of fireflies. Now, I've never seen fireflies up in person, and it kind of scared me at one point, because even though I know fireflies may not be harmless, but you've never known what they can actually do in actual human life. I guess if you're paying you cannot abandon your pets or feed the stray or wild animals in the park. That means like basically the lizards and iguanas and anything else that sits in the park. Oh, there's another playground. Now, this is a big park where you have multiple playgrounds here. So, basically, and that's why other people come here as well. They come here for the park, and their kids get to go to the playground. And a lot of these parks, even though they're historic, they have playgrounds where the families can bring their kids and go play on the playgrounds and stuff like that. I may do one nature trail, but that's about it, because, I don't want to go far depth into it. I did see a bridge near the area. We're gonna go tap that bridge as well, because I want to get a main feeling of this park, basically. So we're coming up to a playground, which will probably be another rest stop for me. Then we're gonna take a quick, short, brief pause, and then we're gonna come back, and we're going to be in another part. This is the Roundtable Talk. I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, I'm back. I just had to let you know. Oh, this is where a tennis court used to be at. I veered off from the roadway because I guess, it would have took me around the same way I'm taking this. So I'm taking a little mini dirt road, or dirt path that's through the picnic area. Because I said it makes no sense for me to walk all the way around, and it's going to lead me to the same area. But as you can imagine, like I said, if you're not a person of walking, this is not for you. Like, especially on a hot day like this. Like when I did Atlanta, it was nothing. But eventually, I got thirsty halfway through, and I ended up having to buy water because at Piedmont Park they had a vending machine which sold sodas and waters. And I can only imagine that majority of the soda machines and stuff. I mean, of course, every park has water fountains and stuff like that, but I don't like to use the water fountains at parks because even though they tell you that water fountains, you're supposed to drink water at room temperature. Oh, there's a score that just passed us. You're supposed to drink water at room temperature, not cold. But I don't like to drink water when it's like that. I like to drink water cold. So there's a water fountain right there, but these water fountains, they don't get cold. So you drinking them, it won't hydrate me as much as cold water would, but it will kind of hydrate you. It just gives you a different feeling. All right, let me get this way. I think I'm coming up near the Oleta River Trail, which is what I mentioned earlier. And now that I'm gonna take that trail. Because remember I told you this was built the trail was formed back in 1979 by a youth organization. So, okay. Hello. No, this is called the Lakeside Nature Trail. The park office is this way, so I guess that's the park office. It's called the Lakeside Nature Trail, which is the Youth Conservation Corps project, 1979. So I guess in 1979 they called it the Oleta River Trail, Nature Trail. But since the Oleta River State Park was formed, I see a lot of iguanas. But I think when the Oleta River State Park was formed in the early, I haven't did my research on the Oleta River, but when the Oleta River was formed, they probably changed the name to the Lakeside Nature Trail to give Oleta River its own shining of it. But when you do look at and you do your research on this park, it tells you it's called the Oleta River Nature Trail. I see we're back over here by the big old mound that I climbed. I wouldn't did a nature trail, but I've seen a lot of iguanas, and I don't want to go anywhere where iguanas are hanging out at. So I'm gonna go this way. I tell you, it's hot. I mean, hot. So I came from this way, so now I'm gonna go this way, which is another way. I'm sure the park is bigger than what I've seen and what you've seen on here. That's why we're gonna do a part 2. But to save faith and to keep me safe from going through these trails, because a lot of these people that go through these trails, they're mainly are used to animals and wildlife creatures and stuff like that. I'm not used to it. I didn't see too many. Actually, I didn't even see iguanas when I did do Piedmont Park. I just seen a lot of fireflies, and I didn't see a lot of creatures and critters, but doing the nature trails. But there was a lot. I'm quite sure at nighttime, because I know Atlanta is known for having nighttime critters, because Georgia is basically nothing but wildlife. There's nothing but woods and stuff, because a lot of cities, Bainbridge, Savannah, one of my favorite shows. I have stuff caught in my shoes. One of my favorite shows, as you know, you don't know, one of my favorite cop shows is In the Heat of the Night, which was the fiction. It wasn't in a fictional, but it was. They had it was said to be taped in Sparta, Mississippi, which there is a Sparta, Mississippi, but the actual taping of the show was in Covington, Georgia. And as you know, if you've ever seen the show, there's a lot of woods and a lot of, you know, back roads and dirt roads and stuff. So you're going to see a lot, you know. And Miami is no stranger to that as well. You know, you see a lot of the back roads and dirt roads in Miami. So you see a lot of that down here. Okay. I got to get whatever's in my shoe out because I have something sticking in my shoe. That's sticking like... I'm sorry, y'all. Because walking through the grass and everything, you know, you have stuff that sticks to your socks and shoes. And I think I got it out. Okay. Okay, well, I'm going to wrap up part 1 of this because I want to get part 2 on the way. I'm going to... this is a actual picnic area. I think that's the rest area that I first came up on. Hopefully they have some cold water because I do have... my water's almost gone. I'm going to set up my device right quick so I can drink a little bit so you can actually get an understanding. I don't know if you can... Nah. But I'm sorry, y'all. I have to get a drink of water. You know, I'm very thirsty, so... And not only that, there's several parks that I did I wanted to mention, but they never got posted because of, you know, I didn't, you know, take the time. Like, I did Oleta River State Park, which is another park in North Miami Beach, which is a state park, but it never got posted because at the time when I was doing it, it was back in the early YouTube years when they was only doing like 10 to 11 minute videos, where now you can do hour plus videos. You can do more like time back then. So I had like a whole bunch of videos, you know, playing, like did a whole bunch of videos because, you know, back then when YouTube first started coming out, and like 10 years plus ago, YouTube was doing what you can only do like 10-minute to 15-minute videos and stuff like that. You couldn't go, and then when you go over the limit of the videos, they cut it off. And now they have it where now you can go as long as you want, you know. So, and I did Oleta River. I also did Billback's Cape Florida State Park, but I didn't do that for an actual video for the roundtable talk. I did that a personal video because I was doing that thing. I think I did one for Hughes Taylor Birch State Park. I think one for us. I have to go back and look at my videos. I think I did one for the Barnacle because I remember I did a video with the Barnacle and I did the inside tour of the Barnacle house, but I never posted it because I don't know the copyrights of can you post anything of the inside of the house. So I didn't want to, you know, for legal purposes, I never actually gone through with the video to posted it inside of the house, you know. But I did a video inside of the house. The video footage is now, you know, since gone. So basically, you know, and have I did any other park? Not that I know of, I haven't did any other park, but I did a few parks that, you know, and there are a few other parks that I haven't did yet that I want to do, that I'm going to be doing. So you're going to see them within the upcoming time. This is one of the few parks that I've started doing. I know I did some. This is one of the few parks that I've started doing. So I'm going to go with that. And this is part 1 of Greynolds Park. This is the roundtable talk. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can comment at the bottom of this page. You can also email us, roundtable00@yahoo.com. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe our page. And don't forget to comment if you have anything that you would like to know, and even if you have an episode or part that you want to be featured. A park in South Florida, as I can say, because I don't travel as much like I normally would, but due to work and COVID and a lot of other things, at one point I was, you know, in college when I first started doing these episodes, and then a lot of the stuff. So now it's more of a, I don't travel as much, so we can do that. So this is the Round Table Talk. This is part 1 of Greynolds Park. Stay tuned. I'm finna do part 2 in 2 seconds, and I'll see you in a little bit. The Round Table Talk.